welcome to Life's a Pitch TV! With our biggest crowd. We thought we had a capacity crowd last week, Butch, but we've got an even bigger crowd this week. Hello, capacity crowd. Fantastic. Thank you for doing the family version of the cute Super Kira McKenna song. Welcome to episode 3 of Life's a Pitch TV. So good to have you along. We have got a great show lined up for you this week. Let me introduce you to the team. Terry Butcher's here. Hello, Butch.
Hello, Murph. How are you?
I'm very well. Oh, that gives them a round of applause. Come on.
They were doing so well up to that point, weren't
I think they're worn out.
Yeah.
And over at Beatty's Bar, not only do we have Phil Ham from TWTD this week, but we have a Beatty. We have Kevin Beatty's daughter. It's Emma Beatty. Welcome to the show, and so appropriate to have a Beatty behind Beatty's Bar.
It's great, but it's got one thing missing though.
What's that?
Where's the beers?
Yeah, we've got to work on that one, actually. He wouldn't be very happy with that, I don't think, would he?
He wouldn't be here if there was no beer. He'd have walked out. Yeah.
Well, thank you for coming along
Thank
and
you for
joining in. I
asking
know
me.
you've got something that you want to loan to us for the
Yes,
season.
it's on loan for the season,
Okay.
and it is the
Oh, wow.
FA Cup winners plate signed by all the players from
Oh, that's
1978.
amazing. Thank you very much.
You're
what a
very
precious
welcome.
thing.
You're
You've
very,
been
very
shining that all
welcome.
day.
Yes. Oh yes, it's a lot of hard work.
Well, I'll tell you what, we've got memorabilia around the studio, and that is going to have pride of place over here, right by your dad's statue.
Perfect.
I mean, he's here with us every week, isn't he?
He's here. Yes, he's here in spirit and also in
Yeah.
presence
Oh,
as well.
yeah,
but
he is.
it's
I'll
nice
tell you
to
what,
see.
he'd have loved this.
Yeah.
He would have
I
done.
mean, we always said he had a face for radio, but you know, he would
would've done.
have definitely made the most of this.
and also, every signature you can read who it is. Nowadays,
Brilliant.
you can't
Yeah,
understand
that's true, actually,
you know,
yeah.
anything that's written on the autographs.
Didn't you
but,
put the
know.
little your number underneath your autograph when you did them?
No, you never knew your number when you were
Right.
going to play because then it was 1 to 11.
Right.
So you never knew. But
Hang on.
No.
Number 6 for England, number 1 for insurance.
yeah, that was thanks, Phil. That
For
was a-
younger viewers and listeners,
Yeah.
you had your own insurance company, didn't you?
I did, yes.
Yes.
And our logo was my autograph.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And a few years ago, not that long ago, actually, just pre-COVID, I think, your old shop on Nacton Road in Ipswich, someone took the fascia board off, and your old one was underneath it.
Yes, that's right. Yeah.
And here it is tonight behind the
Yeah,
sofa.
yeah. It started off well and failed miserably.
Oh, dear.
No, it didn't fail at all. We did really well. But we sold it to that mob up the road in Norwich and Peterborough. Yeah, well done.
Very
well
good.
done.
Yeah, well
Yeah.
done. That is fantastic. Thank you. We will treasure that, and we will find somewhere very special to put
You're
that up.
very welcome.
That is absolutely lovely.
Presentation. Yeah.
Don't drop it, Phil. Do you want to hold it up like a trophy victory? There we go. Isn't that fantastic? What a lovely gesture.
I thought that was the shine off his head, but it's not that.
No, I think he's well powdered this week, don't you?
Yeah, it's very good.
Yeah, we've got a new nickname for him, actually. Who watched last week's show when Phil had to do the Keep It Up challenge?
Yeah.
Yeah. Rubbish, did someone say? Well, he
Yeah.
may have done
Thanks,
6 keep-ups, but he lasted 4 seconds, and someone has given you the nickname now, 4-second Phil.
It's very generous.
Yeah. I think it was Mrs. Ham, I think. Our sponsors. Big thank you to our sponsors. DPS Tech, thank you. All About Hearing, Green King, Forward Floors, Come Hither Design, the Hudson Group, Venue 16, and also we have Richard on technicals behind us over there. And Richard is a very, very special man. I got his the name of his company wrong last week, so Richard's going to actually stand up now and tell me what it is. Come on.
Did you forget to write it down? Did you?
Yes. Sound? No, I didn't. No. Sound 4 Pro Audio. There we go. I was practicing that one all week.
You're
So
not just getting your own back like you got Phil last week. You picked me up, you know.
thank you very much for all of your hard work, and John over the back as well, and Mark Calver too. So a fantastic lineup that we've got tonight, and of course our capacity crowd. We will have a very special guest for you in a moment or two. There is a big clue up on the TV monitor behind us, Butch, which might just give it away this week, I think. don't you think?
It's a very subtle clue.
Yeah. So we'll introduce you to whoever that may be in a moment or two, joining us on the world's biggest sofa. But last week's show, great response to having Cole Skews on last week. What a gentleman he was.
Yes, it was a real honour to have him on, and now he's going into the management side. He's looking at that and looking what he can do, and he graced Ipswich Town, Bristol City, of course, and a few other teams, but he's certainly going to grace Bury as well, and hopefully they'll do well. But apart from Lowestoft Town when they meet them,
Yeah, a bit of needle there last week, wasn't there?
yeah, still is a bit of needle as well.
Okay,
yeah.
all right.
Yeah.
Don't give me that look.
Yeah.
Some great comments coming through. I mean, Phil, you saw loads of comments coming through, didn't you? I've just picked a few out. Tucker, what a top guy Cole is. Great show as ever. Watched from my sun lounger in Mauritius. Home in time for the season kickoff. 4-second Phil. There we go.
That's him, is it? Yeah.
Yes, 4-second
I know
Phil.
to track down.
David Barker, loving the channel. Well done to everyone involved. Great to hear views of the boys on the current events in football as well as everything ITFC is up to. Keep up the great work. Tractor Factor, you're putting together some interesting stuff. Thanks from Cyprus for bringing me closer to my beloved football club. Dawn, another fine episode, pure enjoyment. Looking forward to much more fabulous entertainment in the coming months. And Mick, living in the US, this is such a great show to bring back memories and keep me updated. Look forward to it every week. Great guests, great presenters. Will keep me going till I make it over for 3 games in September and October. And Nicola, really loved watching this. I was interviewed on Life's a Pitch back in the fan zone when the beat was there. I will always remember that. You're looking great, Mark, by the way, says Nicola.
Yeah, he's making these ones up now.
I don't know why I chose this one to read out. Really excited to see Chambo on the next episode. One of my favourite ever Town players. Great player, great person. Looking forward to watching on Thursday. So thanks for those great comments. And if you are watching on YouTube, do make sure that you hit the subscribe button for us. Like it and subscribe. That will help us keep the channel going. So likes and subscribes, we love them to bits. Now I think we need a special guest, don't we?
Yes, we certainly do. Yeah.
Who could it possibly be?
Someone who's a legend.
No idea.
A legend for the club.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And a former skipper like you.
And a former skipper, unfortunately, took Ipswich down, but we won't talk about that in the next one.
I know somebody else who managed that feat as
I
well.
was going to say, just like me.
All right, yeah. You were there first, weren't you?
Just.
Yeah. And neither of you had the chance to bring them back,
No,
which was a shame.
that was a shame. And I think both of us didn't really want to go, to be honest.
Yeah. Well, what a damn
But we shall ask it.
introduction
Yeah.
that was.
We shall ask him. We shall ask him.
Well, yeah.
Ladies and gentlemen, it's Chambo! Luke Chambers, welcome to Life's a Pitch TV.
Oh, thanks for having me, guys.
You're looking very good.
Casual tonight.
Yeah, no, it's okay. It's all right. Ready for the Keep It Up challenge later on?
Well, that's what I thought. I'd have to beat Phil because he's given me so much stick over the last.
Yeah.
Well, if
10 years.
you don't beat Phil, you're going to get pelters, by the way.
Yeah.
Pelters.
I think that'll make my decision tonight whether I carry on or call it a day.
Second Phil.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, it's great to see you. Looking very well. You feeling okay?
Yeah, I'm all good, thanks.
Yeah.
In a good place.
I'm going to dive straight in with a couple of questions from our socials because I think it's something that lots and lots of people want to know about. And the first one comes from Tucker. What are your future plans? Keep playing or management? Ian Knights, what's happening with your football career after being released from Colchester United? Are you going to retire? Lots of questions last week of Cole. Is he going to sign you to be with him at Bury Town? Can you tell us what the future is?
No, I think I'm pretty clear what I want to do now. I've played football for 21 years as a professional since I was 17 years old, 871 games. So in my mind, I think enough is enough.
So that's retirement from
Yeah,
professional football?
pretty much retirement.
Oh, my
It's not
goodness.
been an announcement, so I sort of saved it for you guys. And Mark Calver is a big friend of mine. Fantastic that he's been able to put this together
Yeah, he has,
and help
yeah.
with it all. So, yeah, I think that my time as a professional footballer has pretty
Gosh.
come to an end.
How
yeah.
does it feel saying that out loud?
No, I'm really comfortable with it. I'm really in a good spot. I wanted to go out on my terms. I've got 4 wonderful children. My wife was settled in Ipswich, so it's sort of thing. The question you have to ask yourself: do I want to be travelling across the country anymore? Do I want to live away from my family? Am I going to take them out of school for a year's contract at 37? Even though football's not ageist at all. But no, I'm in a good spot, and I feel really comfortable with the decision I've made. Really.
Wow.
Great career, Chambo.
Fantastic. Well done.
Thank you, guys.
Did you
And I think
when you were younger, did you ever think this day would come?
I don't think you ever think, do you, really, when you're playing, when you're in the thick of it, and then all of a sudden the years just tick by, and the older you get, the quicker they go, and you just seem to hang on to those happy memories and those good memories.
Yeah.
But no, I've known when the end was coming near Ipswich, I thought you have to be prepared, because I think a lot of lads in football aren't prepared for the end, and they come out of it and the employment finishes and they're at a bit of a loose end. So for me, preparing for the end and having the companies that I'm involved with and that I run has been a breath of fresh air for me, because whenever people want to talk to me about football, I'm really, really interested in talking to them about their lives and what they do. And that's been a fascination for me for the last...
But you say, like, preparing for the future sort of thing, but you did your A licence. You've got your A licence as quite young to get the A licence. So the next step up is the pro licence, and that's the big one, where you can coach anywhere around the world. So you were prepared for that route as well.
Yeah, and I felt that was the right thing to do. One of the managers I had, he got his badges really young, and I thought it was a great idea. So by the time I was 30, I had my A licence, ready for coaching, ready for that journey into the management side. For the moment, that's not really where I see myself at the moment. I think I don't want to take a lot of time away from the game, but I just think I need to figure out what is best for me, my family, what my values are, where I see my reward coming, whether that's in football or not at the moment. So there was a couple of times I was going to apply for the pro licence, but that's another story.
So this is the first pre-season that you're not doing in how many years?
Yeah, 21 professional. 60 years.
Yeah, 60 years.
Yeah. I've still not got any greys yet, Butch, though. So
I think
yeah, I was just going to say, mate. You know what I mean?
I think it's worth talking about your statistics as a player. EFL football. I think the league, isn't it? You're the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7th most appearances in league football in this country, which is 791. I'll count that against you. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
You haven't got
7.
all 9. I thought you were going to count all 791
Yeah.
there for a minute.
So, I mean, you could never have imagined when you started playing that you'd get anywhere near that. I mean, that's an extraordinary number of games to play over a career.
Yeah, I feel like I haven't had any time off from playing football for 21 years, and I've played Saturday, Tuesday, Sunday, whenever the games come, and I've been available, which is amazing. I've been very lucky. I've looked after myself, always been professional. Just to play that many games for the clubs that I have, to lead those clubs as well, that's stuff you can't even dream of.
And how many of those 871 games? I just got to make a correction here.
Were good, or?
I put 870, but you've put it right. How many of those games were you actually 100% fit, or as close to?
About 71, I think.
So
No, I don't think you're ever. You know what it's like. I don't think you're ever 100% fit. And if you're searching to be 100% fit, you're not going to be on the pitch very often.
Was that your desire to be part of the action? Was that?
I don't know, really. I just felt my responsibility, and I always felt, as you probably do as a footballer, that the team will be better with you in it. So if I feel that I could contribute to the team, I always put myself forward. There was a few times I probably shouldn't have played in games. But unless someone says to me, Chamber, look, let's leave it for next week or the week after, then I was never gonna say I'm not fit. Or
did they always ask you, all the managers, did they ever say, it's up to you when it comes to actually playing when you're injured?
Well,
nowadays, I think that's taken away from managers.
No, I would agree with that as well. But for me, I trained every day. So even if I was injured, I trained anyway. So it's there was never really an option, or I never really gave the impression that I was injured or I was carrying anything. I was just out there every day with the boys, because at the end of the day, that's what I was paid to do.
So if a manager said to you, I'm not playing you today because I want to rotate the squad, would you have took it well, or would you have hit him?
I think you've known me long enough, Butch. I'm quite diplomatic in that respect. At the end of the day...
Yeah, I think you probably hit him.
I don't think you get away with it now, all the cameras. Look, how many we got in here? No, I just think I've always just been for the team.
We may come on to managers a little bit later on. Actually, there are quite a lot of questions surrounding managers and the like.
There's lots.
There's lots, yes.
I was going to really ask about joining Ipswich in the first place, because you'd been at Forest, hadn't you? And your contract was up. I think they were in a bit of a situation where finances were not good. There was a takeover about to happen, wasn't there? Something like that? And
so
Paul Jewell sold you the club, didn't he?
Paul Jewell sold me the dream, yeah. Yeah, it was great when we met in a hotel a couple of times. He's had great visions for the club, and when I first joined, they didn't really materialise, and the players that we were going to sign, it didn't really happen, and sort of the rest of the last 8 or 9 years of me being here sort of ran the same sort of way, really, didn't it, in terms of investment and players signed. But
So he came in. So this was the summer of 2012, wasn't it? And then by the October, he was gone, and Mick came in, and you forged a remarkable. The ideal manager, captain. Well, you weren't the captain to start with, were you? Actually, Carlos was the captain, but he was injured, wasn't he, to start with? And you were kind of the de facto captain for most of that season, weren't you? But it was a terrific relationship, wasn't it?
Yeah, and he was great. He's just an honest, normal guy, and I think that goes a hell of a long way in football. If you don't know who you are inside and out, I don't think you can be a manager at the top level. And he had every ounce of himself, understood, knew what he wanted, spelled it out as honestly as possible, as clear as possible. If you can't produce this, then you can't play. I don't think any other footballer wants it any other way.
Is he the most honest manager you've played under?
Yeah, absolutely, 100%.
That's great, because he is.
Yeah, he's honest, yeah.
Yeah, tells it as he sees it.
Yeah.
Yeah, you should have played against him. He was hard as nails, I tell you.
Yeah, no.
Although
Fortunately, he didn't join in training, so it was all right.
No. Well, it was great playing against him because you knew you were in for a battle.
Yeah.
You're in for a hard time, but he wore the wrong colours, but we don't go into that.
No.
We'll come on to the town managers in a moment or two, but you've actually played under so many different managers. You worked it out, Butch, didn't you? How many different managers was it?
Cool, you're telling me something here.
I lost count. Paul Hart, Joe Kinnear, Gary Megson, Ian McParland, Frank Barlow, Colin Calderwood. Yeah, he was good to you. There was Colin Calderwood.
Yeah, he's great. He took me to Forest, yeah.
Yeah. Billy Davis.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay, we'll move on.
No, he was a fantastic manager, but he's just a bit of a lunatic.
Yeah.
But yeah, I loved him, to be fair. He was a good guy.
Steve McLaren, but we move on for Steve. Steve Cotterill as well. They were the Forest managers. But
Some characters in there at Forest.
Yeah.
and I haven't mentioned a lot of the caretaker managers as well.
Right,
when
so
it
quite a
happened.
few.
But you see with the length of your career, I mean, I know they had a revolving door at Forest, but you know, you see by that there's still quality, but they had a lot of managers, so you had to get used to different managers, and some managers played you at right back, some managers played you at centre back as well. What is your preferred position?
I always loved to play at centre back, but I loved playing right back when we were flying and we were successful and we were scoring goals and we were attacking, and because I played most of my time sort of right wing, because I felt if I was up there, I'd have to do less defending. So that's what I tried to be as effective as I could. Hence, I scored quite a lot of goals from that position late on, especially because.
Well, you scored more goals than Cole Skews, but that wasn't hard, I tell you.
No, that was
45 goals.
one of my big mates, but I've got him on that respect. Yeah,
It's a trump card, that one.
yeah, every time.
And when it comes to town managers, lots of fans have been in touch about, Cook, Lambert, Hurst. Anything you want to say about that firm of solicitors that sounds like it is working there?
No, I just
Interesting
think
characters.
Yeah, absolutely. And again, to be a first-team football manager, you have to be an interesting character.
Yeah.
You've got to have your own strong opinions, and obviously they certainly had theirs. But yeah, it just wasn't a great time for the football club.
I mean, there wasn't a lot of money around for players, and you've alluded to that already, saying that perhaps promises were made that squads were going to be strengthened and they weren't. It's difficult, isn't it, when you're scraping around to find players to build a team around?
Oh, it is massively, hugely difficult, because at the end of the day, I think really in football, you're only as good as your recruitment. Obviously, the recruitment in that period wasn't ideal, hence where we ended up. But no, that's a period I found that time difficult, because at the end of the day, I think the first 15 years of my career, I was used to chasing promotions, getting promotions, being in the playoffs 6 or 7, 8 times. And so for me to get my head around that was quite tough, and it was a tough time. Obviously, I'm leading the football club, and you take a lot of that stick on your shoulders when you're the captain, and that's part and parcel of it. So
Yeah, and a
was big
super
enough.
captain you were as well, actually, and we'll touch on that a little bit later on as well. Absolutely, a brilliant captain for the club,
That's
on
summer.
and off the field, and we'll come to that a little bit later on.
That summer of 2018, Mick had gone, and I think players were all big. You all got on very well with Mick, didn't you? You were Mick's team effectively, and Paul Hurst came in and made an enormous number of changes. And I can remember talking to 2 ex-players about the recruitment that summer, and they went, not a lot of championship experience there, and they were worried going into that season. Did that feel the same for the experienced players who were at the club?
No, because I think you're as a player, and you, being brutally honest, you become a robot, so you get told what to do and you just do it. So we lost, I think it was 58 goals out of 68 scored. So it's very, very difficult to replace, and we didn't do that.
And the relationship, we talked to Colin about this last week, about kind of some of the comments that Paul Hurst made about Tom Adeyemi and Jonas and Bart while they're away at the World Cup. I think essentially he said, just because they've been at the World Cup doesn't mean they're necessarily going to get in my team.
I think that tells its own story, really.
Yeah, and how do you feel as a squad? I said this to Cole last week. How you sort of thinking, well, why is he saying this about us? He's just come in. He needs to forge relationships rather than kind of create division.
Yeah. What more do you want me to say?
Yeah.
But did that ever recover then, that kind of relationship from those sort of early days?
I think his tenure as manager probably says a lot, doesn't
at the
it,
end of the
really?
day, we didn't
Speaks
win.
for
We didn't win in
itself,
games.
yeah.
We didn't win any games. We were part of that. We're
Yeah.
players. We take a massive amount of responsibility. There was never a point where there was any arguments, any disagreements. At the end of the day, we're his players. He's chose to play us as players. That's not to say no one's without blame, but we can't. No one can sit here and say, "Oh, that was a crap time because of him or him or him." We've all had our role to play, but not once did we ever refuse anything. Ever refused to do what we were asked in training. Ever down tools. So if anyone ever chucked that as me as a captain and the group of players, it's absolute waffle.
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of criticism of that season, and people say, "Oh, down tools," and we're relegated by October. But I don't think that's
No, we
true.
won't.
I don't think that's true. There was that second half of that season. There were games against Derby and people like that. There were decent teams in that league where we should have beaten them. West Brom away. I remember that. We weren't winning matches we should have won. I think was more the case, wasn't it?
Yeah, well, we had more than enough time to get out of trouble, and we didn't do it.
That's a frustration for you, isn't it?
Hugely,
yeah. Yeah, I mean, Butch, we've talked before about when you were relegated with Town back in the day as skipper, and it really hurts, doesn't it?
Yes, we're actually going downhill here, aren't we? Because we're talking about relegation and stuff. I know I mentioned it earlier on. I thought we wouldn't mention it again, but we
Sorry.
are. Yeah.
No, you started the ball rolling, Butch,
Oh,
but
okay,
we spoke about it now.
We'll talk
So
about the playoffs in a minute.
Yeah.
Get it out of the way.
we spoke about it.
Yeah.
It can only end on a high now, I think.
Well,
I was
don't know
gonna
about-
cry a
I don't know
minute
about that. No, but it is awful because the harder you try, the worse it seems to get,
Yeah.
and you do try extra hard, especially if you have a feeling for the club, and we could all see the feeling that Cole had, and obviously Luke as well. But and the rest of the team, everybody, you could see it, and it just didn't happen. And you think you've got plenty of games coming, and you think, well, we'll be okay, but you're not. And it's very difficult when you're going downhill like that. It's very difficult to put the brake on and stop and go back up the hill. It's very, very hard.
I
And it's
think
not-
relationships are everything in football.
absolutely.
I really do. And if you haven't got the relationships in the majority of the group, then there's not
It's
really a
the same in any
recipe.
profession,
No,
isn't it?
it
When
is.
you've got a group of people that are on song together,
Mhm.
work hard, play hard, look out for each other. That's when the magic happens, isn't it? And let's bring it up to the current squad that we have now, and we certainly saw that in abundance last season, didn't we? And do you think that will carry them through into the Championship?
They will fly this year. That group of players they've got, the management staff, the whole way the club's being run. It was just like me and Butch. We would love to be involved with that. Do you know what I mean? So it's one of them things that I wouldn't say you look on it enviously, but I look at it now and you think, what a setup. And
It's so
that's
different,
only
isn't
going to
it?
breed positivity, hence 30,000 in the stadium in League One. So the fan base is there. We've just been crying out for what is there now for the last 10 years. So I'm really hopeful we get off to a good start.
Do you talk to the players at all, current squad?
Yeah, I speak to quite a few of
Yeah?
them now.
Yeah. How
Even
they
some of the
feeling?
new boys, yeah. No, they're just excited. I think they're loving life. They love going to training. A lot of the boys that I speak to, there's never a session where it's the same, which for me, I think with Mick and Terry, they did such a good job, but I think they maybe needed another coach in there as well, just to keep things fresh and ideas. But I think they've really got it nailed on. So I'm hopeful that I'll get up to some training sessions this season and see how Kieran works and stuff like that. So I'd love to be going up there to watch
he's
the boys. Really.
working his magic, isn't he? He
Absolutely.
really is. Yeah, he's got fantastic stuff last season.
So
Great
sorry.
expectations this
Do you speak to Wolfie at all?
Yeah, I speak to Wolf. Yeah.
Oh, he speaks to you now, does he? Oh, right, that's okay. Yeah. He doesn't tell you what colour hair is going to be next week and all that.
No,
sort
he
of
likes
thing?
to keep people on their toes, to be fair to
Yeah, he
him.
certainly does that. Yeah. He keeps everybody on their toes.
As long as he keeps playing the way he is, he could do whatever he likes.
He's played better though. Can you see the improvement in him now?
I just think he plays to his level. If he's playing the Premier League, he'd be a Premier League player. If he's playing the Championship, he'd play as a Championship player. So I'm excited to see how he goes, because he's not short of any confidence.
Well, let's hope he's not playing a League One player next year.
Absolutely, mate.
Yeah, I don't think that's going to happen. We'll do the predictions bit later on. I hope you're prepared for that.
I have.
Where we're going
Done me homework.
where we're going to finish. No pressure, no pressure. But it is a fantastic setup now, and the money that is around in football, and we've got a fair chunk of it in the Championship now. So it's a wealthy club.
Oh, hugely, yeah.
Yeah.
If anyone wants to argue that we haven't spent the money to get where we need to be, I'll have an argument with them right now. Because the money that we've had to invest, which has not been invested for 10 years, so no one can begrudge what we as a club are doing now. I think it's fantastic to see. Even the stadium, it's a match day experience now. You're not just going to a ground that's looking tired. Like every time you go to the ground, I'm probably sure you notice something different. The pitch, I can't wait to see the pitch. Just unfortunately, I won't get to play on it. The one that I've been crying out for the club to get for the last 10 years. The dugouts, I even put a dugout sponsorship forward for the club when I was there. So it's just one of them things. But I just really looking forward to, for me, going to watch the games. I can't wait to go down.
So you're going to be a regular
games.
watching then?
Yeah, I'm going to try and get down. If I can get a ticket, I might have to give Mark Ashton a ring. Whether he'll pick the phone up or not, I'm not sure.
I'm sure he will.
So it sounds like you were kind of, aware that the ground was being kind of not kept up as it should have been, and all these kind of things. And I mean, as the captain of the club, how frustrating was it? And did you ever speak to Marcus Evans and say, Marcus, look, this?
I'm a player. Do you know what I mean?
No, but you're the captain of the club.
Yeah, but I think a lot can be made about a captain of the club and what actually we can do. My job's to keep the lads' morale high, dig them out when they need it, pick them up when they need it.
If I'd have gone to Graham Souness when I was at Rangers and said the stadium's crap, he'd have bum and knifed me.
Yeah.
But did you have Did you have a relationship with the owner at all like that?
No, I probably sat and spoke with Marcus 4 or 5 times in 9 years. It wasn't there, was he? So
No. Well, this is kind of what I'm getting to, really. There was that kind of.
I heard a story that I went to bloody Marcus Evans to get rid of Paul Hurst. I was like, have I got that much self-importance that I think I could go to a chairman? And
It wasn't a story from Phil, was it, at all?
I think it probably came from him.
Surfaced
like,
on
how-
I'm going to
TWTV.
sue my own
I
program.
should sue someone for that, really, because it's just absolutely
Yeah.
insane,
It is.
outrageous.
How does it feel when you hear those kind of things bandied around?
You just brush it off, don't you? But at the
Yeah.
end of the day, like, it's libel, really. Do you know what I mean? It's so untrue. It just baffles me. But if you come out, you can't really tell your truth as a player. Oh, you're this, you're that. Do you know what I mean? So you can never really say the full facts. But I did. That is something that's irked me for a long time.
I think you
Well, it's good
can.
to put it on record that.
Yeah,
it
for the
didn't
record,
happen.
I never
Yeah.
said that.
I think
Phil's sweating over there.
I think you can say things, but in a book, that's quite good.
Yeah.
You get
How
plenty
many
of
fans
sales.
we got? How many guys we got in tonight? That's all I'd sell. I
Well, we've
think.
got a capacity
no,
crowd.
No.
Would you all buy Luke's
15?
book?
Yeah.
I think you do all
There you
right.
go.
Yeah.
Capacity crowd.
There you go.
It'd
Have you
be
thought about that?
It would be a very
No,
long
not
book
at
as
all,
well.
no. Again, that's not me, but self-importance and trying to sell a book.
No, I think people are interested. People are really, really interested to know what goes on, and it is a chance once you've left the game to. Well, how many books have you done, Butch? 2?
2, yeah.
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 Big sellers.
No. Oh, I wish I'd never done them. I didn't want to do them. I'm like, Luke, let your career speak for yourself.
No, but
let people see that, not through a book.
Your career compared to my career, listen, I played loads of games at a really good level, but they're night and day. Let's get it right.
But the whole principle of doing writing a book is like you put it out there and all that sort of thing. We don't like doing that. We don't blow trumpets. We don't like doing that. We just want to get on with the job, as you can see. If you're injured, if you're not feeling well, the family's not, you still get out there and play. To play was the thing. And I'm just paraphrasing Shakespeare then. What about that? I never thought I'd say Shakespeare on Life's a Pitch.
No,
Great
right.
Shakespeare.
I love it. I love it.
Yeah. But you had to play. That was the thing, wasn't it?
Yeah.
I just think you have to. We could sit here and talk about the past forever. I just think you have to move on. For me, I loved every minute of my time at the club and at all my other clubs. But once that door is shut, if you try and hang on to it, it's very, very difficult to see what's forward. So that's been my attitude, really.
Okay, so you made your debut in May 2008.
For
You've been on
Northampton?
Wikipedia again.
no, 2002, I think. I made my debut.
2002. Wikipedia's rubbish anyway. So
Yeah, flipping out.
and that
I think
was-
Phil writes that as well.
Yeah.
I think he does. Yeah.
I knew I'd have my time with Phil Ham.
And that was against Mansfield, and you finished
I finished
with
against Mansfield.
Colchester. You finished against Mansfield.
Yeah.
Wow, that's great for the book. That really rounds it up very nicely. Tremendous stuff.
Yeah, I was 17. I always tell the young boys that I look after now and the lads that I played with. My debut, I was away at Mansfield. The season was finished. It was the last game. We were relegated already. Mansfield were bottom and we were one above the bottom, Northampton at the time. So I came on as a 17-year-old and the manager goes, oh, right, there's half an hour left. You've got go and play right of a 3 at the back. And I'm like, what's that then? I played right back. I played centre back. I played centre midfield. So I go on right back, right of a 3. 30 seconds I've come on. Cross comes in. I lose my man. He scores a header.
Oh, no.
10 minutes later, I give a penalty away.
Ooh.
And we lose 2-1. And every time the ball come to me, I'm trying to clip it down the line. I could kick it 15 yards. I was like, gone. And it was just like the most lonely place I've ever been. I thought your career's done before you've even...
So
and then you get off on the bus, you go home, and the season's finished. And I was like, well, I'm never playing again.
So when you played Mansfield again, all those years later at Colchester, what was the score in that game?
I didn't give a penalty away or score an own goal, I think. Did we lose 1-0, 2-0? 2-0, I think we lost.
Yeah, you lost, yeah.
Oh,
there we are.
yeah. Starting to see a
bonus
pattern here, Butch.
Yeah. Great memories.
Yeah, fucking hell.
But in between was brilliant, though. In between
Yeah,
was
yeah.
fantastic.
Everything in between
Everything.
was awesome.
So you're looking fit, you're looking healthy. It's time to put that to the test now because it is time for our Keep It Up challenge. Yes. How are you at the Keep It Ups?
I've always been all right, but I've got my running trainers on this evening, so
Oh.
that's
Okay.
my excuse there for Mr. Ham.
Okay.
I'll be all right. I'm sure I'll be all right.
4-second Phil over there managed 6 last week.
I was just thinking when he was talking about that Mansfield game, that's exactly how I was last week.
It's probably the most nervous I've been for a while.
Oh dear.
Well,
Right.
build it
Okay.
up
Are
a
we
bit
into
more.
it?
Yeah, we are. Let's do it. We've got the ball. Here it is. You're going to go into the performance zone through there, into the arena. There's the latest ball. So the rules are, there's the leaderboard up there. Connor Chaplin, 52. Phil Ham, 4-second Phil, only 6 last week. So you've got 60 seconds, but it's if you drop it after 2 or 3 seconds, that's it. That's all will count. So it's got to be continuous. So I think Connor did 52 in 35 seconds, didn't he? A couple of weeks ago. So Phil's got you've got your whistle over there. Your Acme Thunderer is there. Look. Yes, there it is. There's your Acme Thunderer, ready to go.
How close I should put that to that.
And crowd, we're going to count. Are you ready then?
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31, 32, 33, 34, 35, 36, 37, 38, 39, 40, 41, 6, 47, 48, 49, 50, 51, 52.
Top of the leaderboard. Brilliant. Well done. Fantastic. So what was the total in the end, everybody? 59. We going
60.
Okay.
One came off
VAR.
my shin at the end.
VAR.
They
So
all count.
we're going to do 59. I think you're happy with 59?
Whatever you say, Mr. Murphy.
That was,
think
that, was it, that was in
59.
34
Brilliant.
seconds.
Give him a big round of applause to Caston Proud.
And that's why I've had enough, I think.
Connor Chaplin, hang your head in shame, by the way.
Yeah,
That's,
beaten by a centre half.
top scorer,
Skillful
beaten by a
centre
centre back.
I know.
Wow.
Fantastic.
Stroke right back.
Right wing.
Well done.
And Coley's going to come back at some point when his leg's better. He
He
tells
won't
us.
get him in here again now.
Do you not think so?
No chance. He's dodged a bullet.
Well done. Now, look, we've got some people in the crowd who want to present us with some stuff. Dan is here, one of our sponsors from Come Hither Design, because we've got lots of fantastic stuff around the studio here. But Dan, you've got some pictures for us.
It's a shameless plug, yes. Oh, shall I come forward?
Oh, hang on. What have you got?
Some of the Ipswich graphics that we produced in the past and the present.
Fantastic. So we've got the that's a wonderful picture
Yeah, it's
of
the
the
Sergeant Pepper
78 team,
poster
isn't
that
it?
we
Yep.
we did that with TWDD back in '98 because it was the 20th anniversary. It was 20 years ago today. Was the
Brilliant.
was the premise
Excellent.
of that piece.
That's
and then
good.
there's a new poster I've just been working on for. It's just a Portman Road poster.
Portman Road
that's-
poster.
Both of these products and many more are available
Come Hither Design.
on comehitherdesign.com/shop. So yeah, have a look and
Brilliant.
you'll let it adorn your walls
We
with
will.
your man cave or woman cave. Should it be
Is
Person
appropriate?
cave.
Dan, is there green in there?
A little bit, yeah.
But there's
Well, it's-
definitely, I could definitely yellow. I can
It's
see
the,
yellow.
it's the mixing of yellow and blue. You get green. I'm sorry, it's the overprinting of the spot colours. So sorry,
Right.
but it's the yellow of the traditional badge as opposed to the blue, the red and the blue of the new
And the
one.
away kit you wore, of course.
Yeah,
Well,
that's true.
I think you dug yourself out of that very well.
Yeah.
Thank you very much.
Well done.
Cheers.
Dan.
Thank you.
Thanks for the great graphics on the show. And Mark Story's here as well. Come on, Mark. So Mark is from Man v Fat Football. We used to follow the progress of the teams on Life's a Pitch on the radio show. And Mark would send in the stats every week. And you've got a couple of things there. What have you brought?
Well, I believe that Terry was a big fan of Inti Anani last season.
Inti Anani was his
There was
favourite
lots of
team.
cheers
Number
and
one.
groans depending on how the result went. So what we've actually got, and this is my own retired shirt, is an Inti Anani
Yes.
football strip.
Oh,
Wow,
fantastic.
look at that. Unbelievable.
Number one.
Number one.
Number
Excellent.
one.
There we are. Go and pick that up, Butch. Fantastic.
Well done.
A genuine Into Your Nanny shirt. That's fantastic. Well done.
That might be
Brilliant. Excellent.
It's even got the nanny on it. There we are.
Yeah.
Right.
There she
There
is.
she is.
There she
With
is.
her walking stick, bless
Yeah.
her.
Well, it's better a walking stick than a broomstick, but there we are.
Yeah.
And while I've got the microphone, can I just hello to Max and Tom?
Yes,
to,
well,
to our Man City players.
yeah. Get 'em, we'll get them up the front there in a minute on the thing. But what have you got there first? You got a
This
scarf
is
for us?
Man v Fat football scarf. So it's done its travels. It's been all around to Colchester.
Ah,
players
brilliant.
and
Man v Fat Football. Is
it's
that
well
for us to put up on the wall?
You can have it, Mark. It's all
Oh,
yours.
brilliant. Chuck it
Wow,
over.
fantastic.
Chuck it
Can
over.
we strangle a canary with it, please?
Yeah, lots of people mention our canary. It's dead. That's all I'm going to say. Max, do you want to come over
Right,
because
thank you.
we've got a couple of the guys here from Man Titty, which is our new favourite team. Man Titty. You quite like that one as well, Butch, don't you?
Loved it. Loved it. Number
Yeah.
one. They've taken over from Inti and Annie. Yeah, they're the boys.
Get up close to the microphone there. How's the season going?
Yeah, pretty well. We just won the Pitch B League of Man City. Scored, what was it, 7-0 last
7-0,
week?
yeah.
And Tommy scored a hat-trick, so yeah.
Well done.
That was a fluke. I didn't mean to do it. I couldn't do it again.
It's a great league, isn't it? And it's all about comradeship. It's all about teamwork. It's all about losing weight, and you work and do it all together, don't you? So it's very
Yeah.
much a team thing.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
really
Yeah,
enjoy it.
we're-
Yeah.
And how much have you both lost?
Well, in the last Man vs Fat season, I lost about, I think it was 7.5 kilos.
Wow.
And I hit my 5% loss of my body, like 5% body weight loss
Fantastic.
for the season, which was good.
Excellent. Well, I've got the scores, actually. I've got the latest scores coming in here from the Man v Fat League. And the latest that we have here, LA Galaxy Bar 6, Man Titty 6, Seattle Quarter Pounders 5, Far From Athletic 4, To Lose a Few Pounds 8, Pork Vale 6. So, well done. Well done. Give them a big round of applause. Check it out online. Man v Fat Football. We love it.
We love it. My son played in that as well.
Yeah,
So, yeah.
great
he,
fun.
He really enjoyed it. He got injured, right enough, but no, he really did enjoy it. Great comradeship and,
Yeah.
and everything else. Do you actually talk tactics at all? Or do you just go out there and play?
Yeah, just go out there and play. I mean, we try and get our in positions and stuff. Do you know what I mean? But
Do you try? I mean,
yeah. Well, we stick, say, Tom at the back or whatever. But yeah, we try and talk tactics a little bit. But it's-
Yeah, good. I think you're doing a great job.
Yeah, well, you're now our favourites,
Everybody at the
Man
league,
Titty.
yeah.
So,
Thank you.
Yeah.
well done. We wish you all the very best for the weight loss and for the season ahead.
Can
So,
I just say we've got an 11s team that are playing on Sunday. If Ipswich Man v Fat 11s, we're playing Great Yarmouth that's at Coppleston at 10. So
Right. People can come along and
everyone's-
watch.
Yeah,
Very
please.
good. All the best for that.
Yeah, thank you.
Fantastic.
Yeah, good luck.
Yeah,
We
good
got a-
luck. Well
we got a
done.
big-
Give them a big round of applause, Capacity crowd. Some questions from our socials, and we've got loads, actually. Space Chimp's been in touch. Hi, Skip. When and if you stop playing football, which we know now, would you still like to be involved with Ipswich in some way at some point?
Oh yeah, definitely so. Yeah, it's my home now. Given a lot of my life to the club, and who wouldn't want to be involved with the club the way it is now?
And you're still looking after some of the youngsters, aren't you?
Yeah, we still look after them. They're a bit. It's different, but they're part of our family at the end of the day. And we've had people like Flynn Downs come through, and he's now playing the Premier League, and been invited to people's weddings and stuff like that. So it's really rewarding for me and my wife. So it's something that helps me fulfil that itch of giving something back towards the game and the boys. Really.
What was he like, Flynn? Was he out till beyond hours and
Oh,
booze in the
no,
cupboard
no,
and all that sort of thing?
Do you think I'd let them get away with that living at mine?
No.
So
No.
they're so respectful.
You'd probably confiscate them, wouldn't you?
Yeah, well, they wouldn't be living there very long.
No, they wouldn't.
So,
But you've really enjoyed that part of it, haven't you? And,
Yeah.
and a lot of people have been in touch on the socials, and I know, Phil, you've had lots of comments come through as well. People really appreciative of that role that you've taken on as club captain, you know, bringing on the youngsters, looking after them, staying at yours. You know, it's fantastic what you've done. I mean, it was really, you know, everybody really wants to say thank you for that.
no, I just think it's a great thing for them, and it's brings so much value to me and my family at the end of the day. My wife's cooking for 11, 12 people every evening, and we're having dinner around my dinner table, all of us. So it's not like they're coming and staying at a house and just are on their own. They
Part of
are
the family.
they are part of my family, so it's fantastic.
Did you mentor them really? I suppose
Yeah.
And any problems, then you try and sort it out. Yeah. Well, that's it's worth its weight in gold.
It
that
certainly
really
is, yeah. Daniel's been in touch. Luke, you were one of the finest captains and ambassadors that we've ever had. You can never fault his passion and love for ITFC. Thank you, Chambo. That's from Daniel. Loads of comments like that. Max FX, who performs the victory punch better, the fist pump, Chambo or Harry Clark? Now, when Chambo?
Yeah,
How
listen,
did
he's
that all
early,
start?
so I'm not going to slag
How
him
did-
off. He's
how did
doing
that-
all right.
How did that all start for you doing that, the fist pump?
Well, we were struggling at the time, weren't we? So when Mick came in, I think it was Birmingham away. We won the game, and it was just one of them things. I just went over, and there were so many fans there supporting us. It was just something that happened, and then it happened the next game. I think we won 2 in a row, and then after that, it was like you go over to clap, and they're all giving it. Ooh. So it was led by them really, and it's just one of them things. And then all the lads were like giving
Here
me
you
a bit
go
of
again,
stick,
yeah.
and here he is again, and it was just something that just continued.
Oh, that's great.
I
Fans
got,
absolutely.
I got a
love it.
question that's sort of on that. Someone says, "Where was your favourite?" This is a guy from Lewis. Where was your favourite fist pump? Which one was the most enjoyable?
I think the Watford game when we snatched it at the death. I think it was inflatable day, and
Yeah.
there was like 4,000 or 5,000 behind the goal. It was just absolutely brilliant. I think we beat Fulham away. It was another one.
Charlton away. as
Charlton
well.
away. Noel Hunt and me swearing on TV, and getting told off by like a naughty school kid on the TV. I was, oh yep, sorry mate.
Sorry about that. Yeah.
The other thing is with that is Harry Clark told us he asked your permission, didn't he, to
did,
take
yeah.
on the mantle?
I just I think I took my boys for a haircut in town, and we were just coming back to the car, and he was walking across the car park, and I think we caught each other. I was like, Clarky. So he's obviously come over. He's like, look, mate, I've been wanting to ask this for ages. Like he was a bit nervous. So I was like, what's up with you? And he was like, oh, do you mind if I do the fist pump? I was like, what? It's not copyrighted, mate. Do you know what I mean? I was like, of course, mate. Like,
Brilliant.
of course. And I've known him and his brother for a long time, and you can see what the club means to him to be back here and playing. He loves it, and he's a guy that's full of energy. He just needs to temper it a little bit, maybe. Do you
Channel
know
it
what
a
I mean?
little bit,
Yeah,
yeah,
he's just
yeah,
got to
yeah.
find his way. So
I mean, he certainly was part of the celebrations at the end of the season,
absolutely,
wasn't he?
and
Yeah,
rightly
fantastic.
so. He's pestering me for a game of golf constantly at the minute. So
He's not the only one. Someone else has been in touch about a game of golf. I'll come to that in a moment or two, I think. James has been in touch. It's widely known that you supported new signings and academy players, even housing them in your own home. How did that work in practice? How did your family take it? Probably above and beyond as captain, you probably answered that. But, again, a great thing to do that's been recognised by the fans.
No, it's nice. At the end of the day, it was never for me. It was just, I felt it was the right thing to do. We had players that would come down, and I'd hear they were down at the training ground, and they'd be like, look, come down and meet them. don't know why they thought meeting me might convince them to sign. That's probably put a lot of them off. But no, I just felt it was a nice thing to do, because when you move all the way across the country and you're starting a new life, I don't think enough goes into that. The quicker you have a player settle, his family settle, his wife's happy, his children are happy, is the player getting paid worse or better?
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? So I just think it's common
Makes
sense.
sense,
And these kids, I mean, you've got kids coming. Corey lived with you, I think, didn't he?
Corey
Corey
Naby, yeah.
Coming over from Ireland at the
Yeah.
age of 16,
Yeah.
probably. That's quite a big thing to do, isn't it?
And he's very confident as a person, and he's got lots of really good attributes, but he could be seen as someone that's like a bit of a loose cannon, a bit arrogant. But once you actually take the time to get to know the kid, he's an unbelievable person. The most professional player one of the most professional lads I've ever seen. But because he's like a bit lively, he could easily get put in a box. Oh, he's a troublemaker, or he's this, or he's that. He's not serious. But if you don't take the time to get to know these lads and really build a relationship, then it's easy to make a decision like that.
Yeah.
And I can remember numerous press conferences talking to a player who's just joined the club, and the first thing they say, well, Jambo kind of, introduced me to everybody, that you and Cole and the senior players at the time were very welcoming. The same way that people talk about Sam Morsey now and Shawnee Aluko. That's really very important, isn't it? And that was probably why because we've not really talked about the very successful season you had, where you finished, where you got in the playoffs. That was the key to that, really, wasn't it?
Yeah, I just felt the quicker the player settles, we've signed a player for a reason. They're very good, so we want him to improve our team. So the quicker he's settled in the environment and understands how we're doing, because we're doing well, the quicker he'll perform at his best. Because again, I don't think in football a lot is done on the due diligence of a player and what's their temperament, what's their social status, what's their background, where are they at with their family life, are they out all the time, like why are they playing well at this club? Do we think if we just buy that player he's going to fit straight into our team and play well? Is that the case? Because I don't think that happens very often. I think we signed him and he's a dud and he's not this and he's not that. So yeah, that's the thing for me. In the last 4 years I was at the club, I don't think you could say one player excelled or was better or got better.
Yeah, unfortunately, when it comes to Y-Scout and all these apps and programs that they have to get, do all the stats, it doesn't actually have a character session or a section, where you see the character of the player. They can write it down, but you've got to go then and do your research. That's when it comes to really good
so important to get the balance right, isn't it, in a squad? I want to rattle through these. We've got loads. Mark Johnson, tell Luke I still owe him a coffee from when he was with the other Colchester United players after training. He's got my business card of where to come.
Okay. Yeah.
Okay, so there's a coffee offer there. Adam, if you had to pick a five-a-side team of players you've played with, what would it be?
Ooh.
That's a good one.
Yeah.
I'll have to get back to you on that one.
Okay.
That's a long list.
Didsy and 4 others, yeah?
Yeah, Dids is in there, isn't he?
Yeah. Bart?
Yeah, Bart would be in there.
Yeah.
I wouldn't play. I'd probably pick better players than him.
He'd be manager.
Yeah, there you go.
There you go.
Barney's been in touch. Who's the most underappreciated player that you played with at Town by the fans, perhaps?
Well, that's an obvious one, I think. Cole Scouse.
Yeah.
What a player.
Yeah, absolutely.
I always wanted to get a bit more out of him, but he gave everything, didn't he? His left foot, right foot passing. He could have got in the box and scored more goals, but he was comfortable in that centre circle, wasn't he? So,
yeah, he did a great job. I mean, he did a very, very important job, didn't he, in the team? And sometimes you need a player like that, Butch, don't you?
Yeah, you do. But he's a great player. But his stories were so long last week.
Did you not wrap it up?
I had to go and have a shave after one of his answers. Wow.
Oh, he's going to batter you when he sees
Oh,
you.
dear.
No, he's just a great player, a fantastic person. Just a credit to the game. Unbelievable for me to have the opportunity to play with him for a long time, and I just think, what a fantastic person.
Go back and watch last
we all
week's
love him,
episode.
don't we? We all love Cole Scouse, yes, absolutely.
Yeah, go back and watch last week's episode. He was great. Jake, was it really you that I saw in Nando's on Monday?
It was, yeah.
Okay, it was, yeah. Ipswich Town Bible, a simple question that may be a tricky one to answer. What was your favourite or standout moment as an Ipswich Town player? And I'd also like to echo the words of many fans. Thank you for your efforts during your time at the club. You were a great leader, especially to the younger lads. So a standout moment for you.
No, I just think the Watford game, the way we were chasing the promotion, chasing the playoffs at that time was probably, that moment stands out immediately without me actually. That's the thing with me. I sort of just move on and actually don't think about too much that's happened in the past. It's sort of just.
Well, here's an interesting one that's coming from Farmer Piles. Mick dropped you and some others to the bench for that
Oh.
cup match at Old Trafford. As a fan who travelled by coach, the response on hearing the lineup was a collective groan. How did you take the news? By the way, you were a great town captain and deserve to test yourself against the best.
I went,
be honest with us,
yes,
you were
mate,
gutted,
yeah.
were you?
Oh, I was all right, Gaffer, yeah, no problem. I was like, really? I understand his reasoning, but that was one thing that really, really wound me up.
Yeah. I mean, this was a cup
I didn't
game,
let him
wasn't it?
know that,
Yeah.
but it's not like we won at the weekend after, is it? So
Yeah.
I was just very, very frustrating. Yeah. And
Yeah, I think it's
Mur-
frustrating.
I
We
think
all felt
Murph
that, I think.
ended up leading the team out, and I'm stood there in the warm-up talking to Bobby Charlton on the side of the pitch. I'm like, this is a bit surreal here, and I'm going to sit in the stand. And
Yeah.
some of the lads went up, and they didn't even make the bench.
Right.
So it was frustrating. I wish he'd have consulted us a bit more than he did, but
Was that the worst thing that happened to you as a player? Being left out of that team?
it was more the fact that he was just protecting us for the weekend. But like, blooming hell, I could play every day. So for me, it was
you did.
yeah. So it was,
You did.
it was nonsense, really. But
your-
yeah, that's really, really disappointing.
Your
was.
games, you played 44, 46, 45, 45, 46, had a bad season with 37, 43, another bad season, 31 and 39 right at the end. You know, that's
That was COVID, wasn't it?
incredible. Yeah, I know it was, yeah. Okay, I'll put COVID
Relax,
on the
Butch,
side there.
alright.
Put COVID there.
And the
Well,
other one,
tell the cameras then.
and the other
That
one
was
you
the
ran
COVID
into Bart,
season.
didn't you?
And the other one, yeah, well, bloody hell, I was Brentford away. I thought I was going to die that day, honestly.
Mm.
I've turned, hasn't the ball's gone over my top. I think it was Ollie Watkins chasing me. I've crouched down to head it, and just as I've done that, he's just come from nowhere, like he does, like a ninja, and just clattered me. And I fractured my sternum, broke 2 ribs, and dislocated my shoulder. And I said to the doc, "So no, give me a minute, I'll be all right." And I think my shoulder's gone. So he lifted my shoulder up, and as he lifted it, it went, and he was like, "No, you're off." And I was like, all right then. And I'm like, slowly walked off like this, and I sat on the bed in the physio room, and I couldn't breathe, couldn't take air in. It was like,
Oh, dear.
I was like, tell my missus, I love her. It's one of them ones.
Blimey.
So we rushed to the hospital, X-rays and stuff, and then I was back on the team coach. I think half an hour later, back to Ipswich.
Couple of quickies. Could you ask Luke this, please? What do you think of Norwich City?
Well, they're good this week, aren't they?
They are on fire. Well done, capacity crowd.
I have to say, this is the best audience we've ever had.
Yeah. What do you think of Norwich City?
Yeah, not my favourite team in the world.
Okay,
are they,
that's all you
obviously?
need to say. Would you be tempted, this is Nathan, would you be tempted by a Saudi move if you were in your prime, or would you be content and happy to play in England?
Knowing what I know now,
Yep.
I'd be straight over to Saudi.
Okay. Just a couple more. Aaron Hall's been in touch. Can you please ask Skip when he's free for a round of golf? Jason, can you just thank him for his service and what he did for Ipswich on and off the pitch? And Barnes has been in touch. Have you met Kieran McKenna? How do you think you would get on with his training and style?
Haven't met him, no. I think I've passed across a couple of times at kids training, but I haven't met him yet, no. And I think I would absolutely love to play for
Yeah.
Mr. Kieran McKenna, yeah.
And I don't know if you follow the news much, but Rob Atherton's been in touch. Is the sun bear in the Chinese zoo real or a bloke in a bear suit? Have you seen this?
Ooh,
So this is
okay.
a zoo in China. Have any of you seen this? The bears at this zoo stand up as if they're humans, and some people think they are people dressed up in bear suits, but then other people think they're real bears. So are they real bears, Luke, or are they people in bear suits? There is no right or wrong answer here.
Well, I
but-
can't really give you an answer because I don't watch the news, so I'm going to do a little bit of research on that, and,
Okay.
and I'll message in next week.
Okay, excellent.
With
Get
my
a
answer.
text.
I think
That's
they're-
fantastic.
I think they're Chinese robots, to be honest.
Every chance, eh?
Every
Oh,
chance.
possibly. Of course, big game on. We've got to talk about the first match on Sunday. Expecting a big crowd in Sunderland. Tough start with Mogger running Sunderland.
I think we'll smash them, to be honest.
Do you think so?
Yeah, I think we'll get off to a flyer.
Okay.
Boys are really full of confidence. I think they finished pretty well, but I don't see anything other than the lads getting off to a great start.
Butch?
Well, Luke Chambers was in the last side to beat Sunderland away, 2018. And the previous victory was in 1989. So that's one victory in 34 years. And Luke was in the team. So
Well
he
done.
knows
Well
how to
done.
beat Sunderland.
Well
the-
done.
The only time we won at the Stadium of Light, I think.
Yeah. So get off to a flyer. Where do you think they're going to finish, Luke?
Playoffs.
Okay.
Definitely playoffs. I think they'll finish playoffs.
Butch?
Well, I've got down here to finish 8th.
Okay.
And now I think because injuries, we've already got injuries. Injuries, I think, will play a much bigger part this season than they did last
It's a
season.
big squad, though.
It's a
with
big
possibly
squad.
2 or 3 more coming in.
Yeah, but when you look at these first choice 11, you say, well, that could beat anybody really on their day. If they have 1, 2 or 3 players out of that, then others coming in, I don't know. But it's a championship now. It's a bigger level compared to League One. Much bigger.
What do you think, Phil?
Well, I think we'll emulate 6th. As we haven't talked a lot about 2014-15, have we? When you made the playoffs, but I think that's broadly where we'll finish, somewhere like that.
I definitely think it's possible.
Playoffs? Yeah.
I do. I think.
Can I ask a question about the handball in the semi-final, second leg at Carrow Road?
Oh yeah. Loves finishing on a downer.
No, I'll come back
Bring
with
it
a
back
high
up
one,
again
don't
after
worry,
this.
Would you have
Ask
handled the
about Paul
ball
Cook.
like that?
I don't think I would. No.
No, I wouldn't have done it either.
I just think it's an unnatural movement.
Yeah.
But I'm never going to tell Christoph Barrett what to do. He's just a bit of a lunatic.
Nobody can tell Christoph Barrett
No,
what to do.
just one of them. I think we were in such of an ascendancy and we had so much confidence. And Tyrone had the ball, didn't he, on the left-hand side, and I was sort of spread on the right-hand side, thinking we might recycle the ball or whatever they call it nowadays. And then he lost the ball, and then I had to get back because we were out of shape at the time. But because we had so much confidence, we just thought there was only going to be one winner in that game. But yeah, the way that panned out was not ideal. And we scored an equaliser as well, but we never really, after that, regrouped quick enough and sort of shut up shop and then went for like extra time and penalties. And because I think we would have been able to manage that if we'd have sat behind the game, behind the ball a little bit more. But again, it's one of them.
On a positive note, the kind of years at Ipswich haven't been massively successful, but you must be proud of that team and that team challenged at the level that it did, with I think the wage bill, which was about 18th or 19th in the division, and it was players who were picked up on frees, and players that had come through the academy. Tyrone had been picked up from non-league. You must have pride in that as a captain.
Oh, absolutely, yeah. And I think every year I was there, every year on year, we improved, and we made the playoffs, and then we lost some real good players, and we didn't replace them, and then it was sort of downhill from there. But yeah, in the lead up to that season and the way that group were together, you wouldn't have a bad word said about any of them in that group, and we'd still speak to each other now, still see each other now. So we're fortunate to play in a team like that, and we just fell out that final hurdle. But yeah, it was great to be a part of them.
Well, we are out of time, I'm afraid. We could sit and talk all night long. I'm going to go for a 3-1 win to Town on Sunday. Surprise, surprise. And I think they're going to finish in the top 2. I think it's back to back. Yeah, I genuinely do. From what you've said and from what I've heard, the spirit is there, the quality of the players are there, and our game will suit the Championship more than it did League One.
I just think you look at the games they had against Burnley.
Yeah.
Just if that's not a marker for me, then what is going to be a marker? I think they're right. They're right within the chance. I think need a couple more of real Championship experience. But I think, the makings of a real good team and a successful season.
Well, look, thanks ever so much for coming
Pleasure.
on the show today. Luke Chambers, everybody. I think it's a song. Isn't there a song?
Yeah. For the final time.
It was there. Fantastic. Next week on the show, we'll be joined by former Town manager and defender George Burley. George will be with us next week, so we're really looking forward to that. Don't forget, if you're watching on YouTube, please subscribe. It helps us with the channel. Smash the like button, smash the subscribe button, and do that, and it'll help us go forward with the channel. And a thanks again to our sponsors, Green King, DPS Tech, All About Hearing, Forward Floors, Come Hither Design, the Hudson Group, and Richard, what was it again? Sound 4 Audio. Sound 4 Pro Audio. There we are. Thank you, Richard and John, for all the tech, and to Mark as well. Thank you, Capacity Crowd. All I'll say is we're looking forward to next week's show. We're looking forward to Sunday, and we're looking forward to a cup match next Tuesday as well. And I think we're gonna smash this league. I really do. Thanks a lot. We'll see you next week. Bye from Life's a Pitch TV.